Alright guys, it's not a typo. If you want to get picked by your prospects, then use this discovery framework. Came across it a few years ago. It's a combination of a few different methodologies and things that were just right for the context that I was in. The cool thing about MedPick, BAN, spin selling, all these different sales methodologies, frameworks, templates is you can make them your own for your organization. They were great for the organization, like Medic, for example, when PTC invented it years ago, it was perfect for their organization. I'm not saying it's not right for every other organization, but you want to make it your own so it fits into your context. So if you want to get picked by your prospects, then use this discovery framework that I landed on a few years ago. Now, if you find yourself chasing down pipeline because you're getting ghosted, deals are slipping to next quarter and then going into close lost, deals are stalling and getting stuck later in the sales process, or you find that you get bad news late in the quarter because your business case has been rejected, then my picked discovery framework might be for you, because we only have so much time during the day. Like so it's right for salespeople to work before 9 a.m. and work after 5, but our customers probably don't want to. They probably want to work between 9 and 5. So that's our core selling time. So we only have a certain amount of hours a day that we can be spending with our customers. So we want to be sure that we're spending the right time with winnable deals that we actually have a chance of winning. Okay, so I'm going to take you through my picked framework here. Really, really simple. It's a blend of a couple different ones here. So I actually like to split out problem and impact. So PICCD stands for problem, impact, change, champion, decision, criteria. I'm going to take you through these really quickly here, just so I can kind of bring it to life. So the reason I split problem and impact out is because I want to isolate the problem, then I want to isolate the root cause of the problem, right? Because a lot of the time when you're talking to your prospect, either an outbound or an inbound lead, when you start to ask them pain-based questions, what happens a lot of the time is what I hear on calls anyway is prospects will answer it with a solution, right? So maybe I say, hey, what's your biggest sales challenge, or why did you join this call in the first place? And the prospect might say, hey, we're looking for training for our managers. Now that's not a problem, that's a solution, right? So I want to isolate the problem and impact so I can get into the problem, find the root cause, but then I want to shift into an outcomes-based conversation. So I want to talk about the impact. What's the quantified impact? How is that impacting and affecting your organization? That's what creates urgency, as we know. Discounting at the end of the quarter doesn't. So we need to get real good impact and understand, hey, it doesn't have to be highly detailed at that point. We just need to know, is it having an impact, and what metrics are suffering as a result? Okay, so problem, then impact. Change is a really important one, especially because a load of sales reps are using new enroll triggers. So when you are a VP or an executive and you go into a new job, you look at the landscape and you're like, wow, I've got a load of work to do here. There's so many moving parts. So yes, it's a good reason to reach out to prospects, but you need to figure out, hey, from a qualification perspective, do they feel inspired to do something today? And if you think about what we're doing, we're selling change, right? And we need to inspire people to change. So the before and after state, the current, the future state. So we want to kind of get an idea and say something like, hey, Sarah, notice you've been enrolled for about 2-3 months here. I'm sure your to-do list is longer than my desk. Out of interest, where do you see this in terms of your priority? Right? And as long as you give people an in and an out, Sarah might say, hey, it's top 2 because this is impacting that metric as I mentioned, and that's one of the things I've been brought in to solve for. Or Sarah might say, actually, this is more of a nice to have and I'm probably going to park this for the next 3 quarters. Can we catch up then? Great. I'm not going to get ghosted, no stalling, no slipping, right? I know exactly where I am. So problem, impact, and even motivated to do something about this now. So do they want to change? As we know, no champion, no deal. People aren't just signing DocuSigns for fun. Right, somebody is driving that internally, somebody's rallying the troops, they're building a project team, they're taking it to the buying committee, to the economic buyer for approval with a really strong business case. So you've got no champion, you've got no deal. I want you to look for power and influence. That person wants you to be successful, they want you to win, so they can go and solve the problem and look like the superstar, look like the hero in the organization. A few years ago, I was working with a rep on my team and we had a fantastic champion. She was a VP level in a very large technology organization, and she was hopping onto catch-up calls with us saying, hey, sorry I'm late, I've just been selling you into this region. Let's build the business case now. Let me take you to our economic buyer here and let me do an introduction and let me help you position the business case. So really good champions are going to help you, and you want to make sure that you're qualifying that you've got a champion in front of you. And then the final piece is decision criteria. Now, as we know, if you're a medic seller or a medpic seller, decision criteria has got a bunch of different criteria that we need to satisfy as they go through the decision-making process. But from a demo perspective, like if we're doing a discovery call and the next call is going to be a demo or some kind of workshop or some kind of presentation, then we want to know the technical capabilities that are required. Right, I did a post a couple of days ago and one of the competitors that we were up against failed to do this, went through a long sales process only to be told at the end, because you don't have this integration and it's stacked rank number 2 from our CTO in the terms of the decision criteria, we're going to have to tell you some bad news and we're going to have to move forward with another solution, which was ours. Right, so the way I talk about decision criteria is if I'm going to go and do a demo, what I don't want to do is be like an estate agent and say, hey, jump in the car, pop your seatbelt on for me. I'm going to drive around the block. Just raise your hand when you see a house you like, and then we'll pull over and we'll go in and take a look. What would be better is the estate agent says, hey, what are you looking for? 3 bedrooms, garage, nice big back garden, quiet neighbourhood. Great, I know the exact house. Let me drive you directly to that house because I know what you're looking for, and then let me ask you if this fits the bill. Right, so you want to make sure that you're getting some level of technical decision criteria so that when you jump into a demo, you're not doing this whole, hey, let me just show you everything and anything we've got and executive switch off in the first 7 minutes, and then you wonder why the deal doesn't advance. Figure out exactly what you need to satisfy and then go and satisfy it, okay? Now, the final thing I want to leave you with today is the what from the who. When you look in the CRM, and this is like for also sales managers and sales leaders reading, watching this, when you're looking at the CRM and you're looking at the problems or the use cases or the economic buyer or whatever it might be in the CRM, I want you to qualify the what and the who. So yes, the what might look good. Yeah, there might be good problems in there, or maybe there's an impact, or maybe we've got some metrics, but who's it coming from? Right, if you're selling to Ford Motor Group with tens of thousands of employees and you're dealing with a very, very low level person at organisation, how relevant or how serious can you take that information? So look at the what and look at the who. If you're a sales rep and you're looking at the CRM, looking at your forecast, and you've got a little bit of a funny feeling in your gut, ask yourself, do I have the right what? And who is it from? Do they have power? Do they have influence? Do they meet regularly with the economic buyer or the decision maker or whatever terminology that you use? The what and from the who. And I've seen so many deals slip or end up in the bin because the what looks good, but who it's coming from isn't right, and i.e. it's not a champion, somebody of power, someone that can influence your deal. So if you're struggling with discovery calls, you're getting ghosted, deals are slipping, deals are stalling, you're getting bad news late in the quarter and you feel like you end up starting to drop your pants and offer out some discounts, then maybe my PICCD discovery framework might work for you. But like I said, it might not, because your context is going to be different to mine and every other organisation. So it might work, maybe you take majority of it, you swap something out for something else, and that's what they're designed to do, is they're meant to be specific for you, your context, your role, your organisation, and your market.